All right, Dolphins fans. First of two joint practices with the Atlanta Falcons leading up to Friday's preseason opener is in the books. Overall, bit of a mixed day, some positives, some negatives. Really wanted to see the offense bounce back after a bit of sloppiness, for lack of a better term. On Saturday, in that inter squad scrimmage, there were some flashes, but at the end of the day, just more inconsistency, some interceptions, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of highlights, some video highlights we're going to get to. We'll get into the details of all that. But before I do, drop your thoughts on the first joint practice in the comments below. Get subscribed if you haven't done so already. We'll be doing the same thing for Wednesday's joint practice as well. I'm actually going to go a little bit backwards from how the practice went today because both teams ended with a 2-minute drill kind of drive. We're going to cover them, and then we'll go through the position by position stuff that we've got. So when the Dolphins were on defense for their 2-minute drive, started with a pass breakup from Kader Kohou. Then Kyle Pitts had a nice big gain on a catch and run. You know, from his rookie year, he actually did that to us in a real game as well. Matchups with those big tight ends don't always tend to go our ways. They had another completion for 10 yards. Zach Sealer had a sack on a play. Then it was back-to-back 5-yard completions to Bijan Robinson. Falcons were at the 33-yard line. They ended up making a 50-yard field goal. So they kind of capitalized on theirs. And then when it was the Dolphins' turn on offense, they started with back-to-back completions to Jaylen Waddle, one for 8, one for 14, an incomplete pass to Durham Smythe, an illegal contact penalty. Then they had an 8-yard pass to Jeff Wilson. This was kind of the Wilson trio. Back-to-back misses then to Jeff Wilson, a short completion to Durham Smythe, got down there, ended up kicking a 40-yard field goal, so they made good on that one as well. But I said I went a little bit backwards, and now we'll kind of go a little bit position by position like we do with these. And we talked about those inconsistencies on offense, and that's where it was a little bit from the quarterback position today as well, as all three quarterbacks ended up throwing an interception. All the quarterbacks noted for missing a few open opportunities, a lot more balls that they would like to have back, plays that they would like to have back and given another opportunity, especially compared to a lot of the other training camp practices that we've seen so far. Mike White's interception came at the very, very end of practice. Tua was picked off by linebacker Troy Anderson. If you remember that name, he was kind of a man crush mid-round guy for me in last year's draft. And then Skyler had an interception trying to hit Waddle in the end zone. But let's talk about the running backs because a rookie from this year, Devon Achane, back after being held out of Saturday's scrimmage. Mike McDaniel said he was day-to-day. We didn't think it was anything serious. He did have a 6-yard touchdown run today where we've talked about this as well. Got to the 1-yard line, contact was coming, had to drop the shoulder and finish in the end zone that way. So good to see some pop once again from the rookie running back. And then Raheem Mostert caught a short touchdown from Tua. He ended up getting a final block on that play by Alec Ingold to really spring him the rest of the way. Most of my play-by-play stuff is from the 11-on-11s. Mostert did have another really nice throw from Tua in some 7 actions that would have went for a touchdown as well. Wide receivers, got some videos here. We got a Robbie Chosen catch and run from Tua, a guy that's really been turning it on as of late. I'm going to show you this play here. Chosen's the one that goes in motion. And you can see that Tua's going to look deep to Tyreek right away. Kind of gives a little pump like it's there. Not quite there. Hits Chosen for a nice catch and run. So a really nice play by that. Later, he ended up picking up a 15-yard connection from Tua on a 3rd and 20 as well. River Cracraft, another video that I've got, had some room to run on this one from Tua. And this is another one. And this one, you're going to see Durham Smythe actually come in motion from your right. And the nice thing about this is it creates that mesh where he does a good job of getting in the way, but not making that contact, but having that clutter of people. We saw the Patriots do this to the Dolphins year after year after year when it was Tom Brady and Wes Welker and Julian Edelman and just Danny Amendola, you name the player. We want to see more of that kind of stuff with the offense that we've got, with the Tyreek Hills, with the Devon Achane, the Jaylen Waddle, the Braxton Berrios, the River Cracrafts. That's a nice added layer to this offense, as long as you don't get that illegal screen call. Then Durham Smythe did a good job on that one. But make no qualms about it. Numerous media in attendance weren't shy to say that, you know what, when Tyreek Hill steps on the field, more often than not, he is going to be the best player that is on that football field. What the NFL's top 100 player list just finally came to fruition. I think he was voted at 7, rightfully so. He had a 46-yard touchdown down the middle today from Mike White. Later picked up a 3rd and 8 completion from Tua. And then he had another catch. I don't have video of this one, where he had to elevate, go up, grab the ball, and tap the toes inbound. So good to see him being able to do that. I mentioned a Jaylen Waddle catch earlier in the video today. I've got a video of one of his catches today. Kind of a timing route through a lot of traffic. Tua picks this guy, pops it to him in traffic. Sometimes you get a little bit of a catch and run there, sort of like what Waddle did against the Patriots. Basically, if you can break one, you're good to go there. But a nice little dump off to Jaylen Waddle there as well. From the injury side of things, however, Braylon Sanders, who was having a pretty decent camp. I know a lot of people say kind of roster bubble, practice squad, maybe at worst, went down today with a knee injury, taken off on a cart. I do not have an update on that as of recording this. Braxton Berrios had back-to-back catches today from Mike White. And then one more injury thing to note, Eric Ezukanma was back after missing the last couple of practices. From the tight end side of thing, I don't know if you can hear my children right now, but they must love Eric Ezukanma. A note on Elijah Higgins kind of here as a blocker. Travis Wingfield noted that there is simply no way that you could watch him as a blocker through this training camp and think that he's just a few weeks into a position change. And if that isn't music to our ears of fans that need a tight end, that really want a tight end that can block and catch the ball and be a receiving threat, great note of Elijah Higgins right there. Just simply put, that he's doing better as a blocker than pretty much anyone who would have expected a wide receiver, converted wide receiver. And then kind of in that, we're getting a couple of back-to-back days where there's like circus plays of the day. Well, today, Julian Hill caught another ball that was popped up into the air near the goal line, ended up going into the end zone for the touchdown. We'll go on to the offensive line. So the Falcons noted for getting home with at least 4 sacks. The Dolphins didn't have a ton of success running the ball either today. No runs broke for long gains, and noted 4 stops basically for short games at the line of scrimmage. Individual note, Kendall Lamb once again singled out for some quality blocks actually in the run game, in the pass game. Good to see him kind of in that backup left tackle spot right now behind Teron Armstead. And then Isaiah Wynn noted also for some quality reps in pass protection. All I can say at this point, especially with the feedback we're kind of getting on Liam Eichenberg, is Isaiah Wynn, just keep it up. Make it your job to lose at this point in time. Put the heat on Liam Eichenberg, because the reports that we're getting, as so far anyways from him, not so much on the winning side of things. Not just the offensive line on this one, but a couple more false starts of note today. That's been an ongoing issue now through camp. That is something that we need to clean up. We know we had our issues with pre-snap penalties last year as well. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, Deshaun Hand with a sack on Logan Woodside in his first practice with the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Pili had a sack on Taylor Heineke. He also had another tackle in the run game at the line of scrimmage. So good stuff there. 1 from an undrafted free agent, and 2 from the guy I mentioned beforehand. First practice with the Dolphins, kind of behind those guys, potential depth piece. He's been pretty good when he's been healthy and when he's had a good opportunity. But obviously he comes with this challenge as free agent for a reason in that particular line of thinking. Linebacker edge, it was Jerome Baker today in the orange jersey. Jaelan Phillips once again getting in there. He had a notable sack on Desmond Ridder. Noted for numerous run stops, continuing to really set that edge in the run game. How I always talk about Christian Wilkins getting stops either at the line of scrimmage or tackles for a loss. This is now Jaelan Phillips' thing. He's a sack every day, and he's setting the edge every single day. So we love to see that as well. Wrapping things up with the secondary, Kader Kohou got the elusive sack from the secondary. He got Desmond Ridder on a corner blitz. Good news, another thing on the injury front, Trill Williams shed the red no-contact jersey today, and also the first Dolphins depth chart came out today as well. And Trill is listed as a safety on that. So that's interesting to note as well. Sort of to be expected, but we really saw it confirmed there with that depth chart. Verone McKinley with a pick six. That was in red zone work. They said that would have been housed for about a 90-yard touchdown. Like to see him flashing as well. We need another safety to really emerge opposite of Javon Holland. So big props to Verone McKinley there. Another guy that's been making plays in the secondary at safety, Elijah Campbell, noted for solid range on a deep ball pass breakup. Looked like it was going to get home. He had the range, got the hand in there. A couple of plays that we were beaten on. There was a 50-yard touchdown allowed today that Cam Smith and Brandon Jones were the closest defenders to. And then there was a touchdown from Desmond Ridder to Bijan Robinson, which Noah Igbenogany and David Long were next to. And one last note that I've got from today's practice is Jason Sanders. He made a few of his field goals today. I don't have the official stats on there, but I did see he was noted for missing a couple from 50 plus. And obviously, after going through what we went through last year with Jason Sanders, going to be important to get him back on track, get him started hot early, because we don't want to go down that route where things can get in his head. But that's what I have got for today, Dolphins fans. Thanks for bearing with me with the kids upstairs. Felt like I was rushing through it, but hopefully I got to all the news in nearly 10 minutes. Went a little bit over again today. But I will be back again tomorrow with joint practice number 2 with the Falcons. And until then, Dolphins fans, fins up.